Hey everybody, this is my M1 Carbine. It's an IBM. It's a 3.9 million mark. I think puts around May of 44. I want to break it down. I'm going to go over it, look for any marks on it, cartouches or anything like that. Let's take a quick breakdown. Make sure it's clear. Take the strap off. Just unloosen this bolt right here. You don't have to take it all the way off. Just unloosen it. Right here you got this little pin. Push it down. Slide that forward. Take a hand guard off. This is a deep well one. It's very thin right here. So you got a flaming fireball here, cannonball, and it looks like a 10, 1 and a 0. I don't see any other marks on the upper hand guard. See nothing inside the stock. The thing I saw on the outside of the stock, it kind of looks like a P or a horseshoe with a dot underneath it. And you got the serial number stamped in. A lot of times there's stuff down in here in the sling well, but there's nothing. There's nothing else on the outside of the stock. I'll take the spring out first. Come on. There you go. Take the trigger assembly off. I'll take the operational rod off. And take the bolt out. Let's start with the bolt. It's a round bolt. Doesn't have any holes in it. I think later on after the war used to drill holes in it for, I guess, the gas pressure. I'm not 100% sure. It's a round bolt. I don't see any markings. Sometimes I know they got markings underneath the lug. You got nothing. You got nothing on the bolt that I can see. Now for your trigger assembly, on the hammer, got an S on the right side. Left side is either a W or M. Either one, don't know which one. I'm not breaking anything else down apart. Really don't want to get too far into it. The mag release looks like you got kind of hard to tell. Looks like CO on top. I can't quite make it out. L4. Very hard to tell with the abrasions in it. You got a U inside here, this mag well. I think that stands for Underwood. Now for the op rod. I don't see anything in the op rod. Nothing on the op rod. Now the barrel, you get IBM, a corporation right there. Nothing on the front sight. Of course, you got the standard US carbine. Now, right below the serial number, you can tell something's been scratched off, rubbed off right here. You can even feel it. So there was some markings there that were, grounded off. Now in front of it, so you got KT, and flip it upside down, you got a J and JB. Don't know what that means. Rear sight, you got HL on the right side. Nothing on the left. That's all the markings I see so far. And so far that's all I see. So I'm not an expert. Just getting into these now. Didn't really want to get into them because I have a little... get obsessed with stuff sometimes and want to try to figure everything out. Also on this band right here you got an AI. Like I said, I know there's so many different variants of these. Different ways they made it. But well, let me give it a good cleaning. Spray some CLP down the barrel. Let it sit for a second. Give everything a nice little spray. See what's inside here. And I'm just going to run a snake through the barrel. Start wiping everything down. Alrighty. Give it a little bit of grease. Always grease the channels. You got two right here. You also got the ones on the main receiver. The main receiver, we got a couple channels here. Anywhere where you see any type of metal, Any shiny metal, it looks like it's been rubbing with other metal. Always get that also. You should get the channel on the inside where the lugs line up. Always put some grease on there. You got a lot of pressure on those lugs. And I'll just put some on the back here, on the back of the receiver. That's where the bolt will ride back. Put, not too much, just a little bit. You got a little channel here. Bolt rides back on. Base of that. Now for the bolt, just a little bit around on the lugs. And put a little bit here on the bottom, where it's going to ride over the top of the hammer. Drop that in. The op rod. Wherever you see shiny metal, this little channel right here, where the bolt slides up and down, that's where he gets his twist from. Wherever you see metal that looks like it's been rubbing on something, always put a little bit of grease on there. Slide that in. Always kind of line up the bolt with that rod. And you get the bottom. I always get the bottom part in first, and then it slides in pretty good. Just want to make sure it moves nice and smoothly. Put the spring in. Just put a little bit of oil on the spring. Working it with my fingers. Slide it in. Alright, time for the trigger assembly. I always test my trigger out, make sure it functions properly. You put on safe, pull it down the trigger, make sure nothing happens. Take it off safe, pull the trigger down and hold it. Your hammer will drop, and you can push your hammer back to reset it. You want the sears to catch it, release it. You want to make sure it holds it, and you release the trigger. Make sure it just, everything stays. You can pull it down, the trigger again. Hammer will drop. Pull it back. Sears catches it. Make sure everything's nice and tight. Not going anywhere. That's the way you double check. Make sure your trigger assembly and everything's working properly. Now I just put a little bit of oil wherever I see any type of hinge area. Don't have to go too crazy. A little bit of oil on the spring itself. I put a little bit of grease on the top part of the hammer. That's where the bolt's going to slide on top of it. And you slide it in. Drop it down. Pull it forward. This pin only goes in one way. It's flared on one side. That's that. I'll put it back together. Drop it down. Put your hand guard on. Slide this forward. Pin catches it. All you gotta do is tighten it up. Strap back on. So that was a quick breakdown. Just want to see what type of marks I have on it. And a quick clean and lube. And it's sort of like the same. They were designed after the M1 Garand, so I know they like a lot of lube, a lot of oil, a lot of grease. Well, I say that's my IBM M1 Carbine. Thanks for watching.